Hey everyone, welcome to the Bold Lawyers Show. I'm JD Hoovener, your host, and today we've got a special guest, Afam Okeke. He's backstage waiting. This show, Bold Lawyers Show, is for you, the attorney, who is out there trying to learn more about your practice to help your law firm grow. And it's also though for those that are just getting started, maybe still in a larger or smaller law firm that want to branch out and do their own practice, how to get started doing some of that. And maybe it's even for the law student that's thinking about hanging their shingle right after law school. That's what this program here today is all about. We're interviewing founders of law firms, business owners that are looking to grow their own practice and share some of their history, what they've gone through, how they set up and founded their own firm, what they've learned along the way, and where they're going from here. So I welcome any questions that come in from the community, whether you're an attorney or not. It's okay. You don't have to be an attorney. Ask questions. All is fair game. I'm JD Hoovener. If you missed that, I'm with Bold Patents Law Firm, and I'm hosting this here today. So we'll have our guest on. He's waiting right here. So let's bring him on. So Afam, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You are very welcome, and thanks for coming back. We had you on the Bold Inventors Show like a couple months ago talking about technology and how it related to inventors. And we actually got you on tomorrow as well. So I'm excited to have you for the double header. We're here talking about you and your practice. I want to hear about, kind of how you got started with your own practice, AI Okeke Legal, PLLC. Take us back, and maybe it wasn't that far, but how did you get started? What is your founder story?
Of course. So I've had this practice for almost a year now, but prior to starting it, I was just trying to figure out my niche, right? There's a lot of lawyers in the practice of law, but what I've learned is that you have to find your niche. And my niche was technology law. I mean, I didn't choose AI. AI chose me. That's my name.
Yeah.
So I used that knowing that the technology trends are headed towards more AI focused and AI assistance in any field or industry. So with that being in technology and artificial intelligence, I chose AIO, those initials. Of course, I know a lot of tech people know IOs, inputs and outputs, and that's all what data is in computers. And AI is important because it's artificial intelligence. Now, if you look at my logo, it's actually built that way designed that way on purpose. The A and the O are not in a box; they're outside the box, and that's one of the things that I.
Oh, I love that. I'm taking a look at that. Hold on, I gotta share my screen. I'll share a screen with everybody. For those of you on the podcast, you're missing out. Okay, we're taking a look at Afam's website, and that is aiolegal.com. This is the right one, right?
Yes.
Okay, so walk us through that again. I love logo and design and branding. So explain that again.
So yeah, so for me as an individual, I don't like thinking inside the box. I'm not a four corners type of person. You always got to find something outside the box. And so with my logo, the AIO initially was inside the box, but I'm like, I don't think inside the box. So the A and the O are actually bleeding outside the square.
Oh man, that is wild. Yeah, because then people think, oh wow, interesting. Right. Either like something happened with your crop, or the my page isn't loading correctly. Something isn't fitting here. Yeah. Nice.
And then the pillar with the I, it's more so me being the individual who can help guide, companies in this new tech space. And as you can see with the my phrase in the beginning, safeguarding innovation and advancing creativity. It's more advancing creativity because there's new ways for firms and or companies to create now with the advent of artificial intelligence. So that's one of the things that my firm is going to be the leader on, and me individually as a practicing attorney.
Man, I love that. Oh my goodness. Gone are the days of, just having last names be the name of the firm. I mean, you've got that in there, obviously, but you've really thought through with respect to what customers are going to be looking at and hopefully getting to know you as. Tell us about a little bit what you're up to before starting your law firm. What were some of the early, signs or, things that you're going to open up your own practice?
Yeah. So, I mean, initially, as anyone who graduates law school, you're trying to find that law firm job. And for me, I was just trying to find that law firm job, and
Yeah.
nothing really materialized. But I mean, I had the knowledge and experience. So, I mean, I just tried. I ended up securing a job for getting a job with a small tech company, and I was just handling limited issues related to trademarks. But I did get to meet some interesting clients in the tech space that allowed me to get more experience and more exposure to those issues. And I was very interested in that. And I'm like, let me expand more on the IP. And IP led me to technology. I will say this: my middle name is actually IP2. So
Whoa. Really?
yeah. So my middle initials are IP. So I mean,
Yeah.
this is perfect for me. So I mean, right after working for the tech company, I was like, okay, let me think of my next strategy. I mean, I'm a great person. I know how to put myself out there. I know how to manage a business. I have my MBA. So let me just put myself out there and start my own law practice. I admit it wasn't easy, but nothing is easy whenever you want to build something from the ground up. So I'm just blessed and humbled to be in this position.
Yeah, for sure, man. So someone out there that maybe, maybe in your shoes like a year and a half ago, and they're maybe in house or they're working at a law firm, and they're scared to make that jump. Was it a clean? Hey, I'm going to quit on this day, and I'm going to start the firm on the next day, or was there actually a bit of a transition in terms of when you started up the firm?
It was more so a transition.
Okay.
One of the lawyers who were laid off due to the tech layoffs. So I had to just think on my feet and figure out my next move. And my next move was just starting my own law practice.
Okay. So you got like what, a 90-day, a 60-day or something like that?
Probably within 30 days.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a whole lot of time.
Yeah.
Oof. So you had to think fast. Okay. So let's see. I assume you've been able to find a few clients in this year.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Did some of them come from your old connections, or brand new, cold, or they found you after you opened up?
Both, actually.
Okay.
Right now, it's more so clients seeking me out either through referrals, or they either see me either on LinkedIn or social media, and they say, "Hey, we have this issue. Someone else has this issue. Could you be able to help?"
Yep.
Right now, I'm also trying to think of new strategies to get more client engage or acquire new clients.
Yep.
And so that's marketing and networking is key in that regard. So I'm doing more work on that aspect of growing my firm.
Yeah. And I found, when I first started, kind of thinking back to Bold IP, which was the initial name of the firm. It still is the name of the company. We were predominantly patent law, but we kind of also marketed as trademark, and we did copyright and trade secret. And after about 5 or 6 years, probably took me too long, I rebranded as Bold Patents, right? So more of a niche. Have you found that even though you're fairly niche, that you're actually practicing a little bit more generally? Are you taking on cases outside of technology and AI and IP, or are you really staying in your lane?
I try to stay within technology, but if anything comes to my desk that's outside of that, and I have the capacity and capability to handle it, then
Yeah.
for example, like contract disputes that's
Right.
not related, or some employment matters, right? Or
You're not going to turn it down.
yeah,
Yeah.
experience is experience, right?
Yeah. Right. That's perfect. I think that's a really good message. Thank you for mentioning that, because you can market and build the firm that you want, right? And be specific and niche, but you can practice more generally. You can basically pay the bills, still take in some of that work that isn't your favorite, while still trying to acquire those more ideal type of personas.
Definitely, it's a grind, man. It's a grind.
Yeah.
Like, no, there's no right or wrong way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing that matters is that you just have to do it. put yourself out there. Whatever comes will come, but you just got to put yourself out there.
Okay, now, so I really want to get to, we got about 15 minutes left here. I know we started a bit late, but I'd love to learn from you. I mean, you probably have some ways. How have you implemented, if you will, AI into your own business practices? Because I am really curious about this. I have thought about it. I'm kind of a late adopter in some of this, in some regard. I feel like I am, because I really haven't found easy ways to implement AI into our firm. I'd love to hear what you're doing or what you maybe plan to do.
Sure. So one of the things that, based on the trends of AI in the legal practice, AI is making it more efficient for lawyers to do their work and research and try to find ways to solve the client's problem in a more efficient manner. And there's a variety of technologies. Like I think there's a company called Ross, and even Case Tech's version of Co-Counsel, where they use AI to help draft legal documents, review contracts, and things of that nature. Though I can't, it uses ChatGPT 4. So ChatGPT is one of the new technologies I'm sure some firms have been using. And you've seen on a news article on one of the firm, a lawyer in New York using ChatGPT for a legal document.
Yeah, got in trouble. Yeah,
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, so sometimes you have to use it, but you've got to basically, verify. You got to go fact check.
Yes.
Make sure what you're presenting is factually true.
Definitely. So, like at the end, it's just AI is now going to relegate lawyers to just be limited to document review and litigation. But AI is not going to be the sole driver behind any contract review, litigation, what have you. It's just going to be an assistant, but human involvement is always going to be key, and critical thinking is always going to be key, because AI is just a child and it's just predicting text that is syntactically correct. It doesn't mean that it knows what it's saying. So that's why it needs an actual human who can actually critically think to verify whatever information that is outputted from their prompt.
Okay.
So for me, I know you asked what I'm doing with artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
I do use ChatGPT, but I make sure I limit what I use with it. For example, if I need to organize an argument, I already have my arguments written down. I know what to say, but maybe there could be a better way for me to organize this. So let me see what ChatGPT says. But you can't. But the main thing that I do, I don't ever put any client information.
Okay.
Any type of confidential information in a ChatGPT, and I think that's important for any lawyer to do.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna put that down there. Big tip. Wow. Attorneys can leverage AI and chat. And it kind of makes sense. You would never want to compromise client confidential information.
No.
Or what's the word? Client privileged information.
And as far as project management is concerned, because even I'm running my own firm, I use an app called Notion, and they utilize AI and their algorithm to help organize whatever projects or things that I'm working on. Like they have to-do lists, journals. If you have just essential project management, so you can organize all the moving pieces within your firm. Because I'm not just a lawyer. I'm also, I handle my taxes. I got to make sure that I pay and being compliant with whatever bar rules. I'm barred in 2 states.
Yes. You're not just an attorney. You're the business owner, man. You got to run the HR. You got to run the admin. Okay, what was the name of that tool one more time? I was typing. I missed it.
Notion. Notion.
Okay. Notion.
I'm
Can
not.
I go to the website or notion.com?
They do. I think they do have a website.
Okay. Check out. I'll just type that up. And again, I apologize. You already said this, but how are you using that? That basically you're saying Notion uses AI to basically provide you information, and how do you use?
Well, not really provide me information, but when I input information, for example, if I am working on a marketing project and I need like a timeline and understand where it's going, they can provide me a template, and then whenever I put my information in, they provide suggestions, or like they learn from whatever information that I put in, and all of it's limited to my own account. So it's not like ChatGPT, where if you input something, it's used to train that the language learning model. It's more limited in the sense that it's personal to me.
Ooh, interesting. So is it almost to the point where you can create, you can type into the prompt? Is it prompting?
No.
No. So it's just providing templates in a way. You're just able to save data confidentially, um,
Yes.
in that sort of a working format. Okay,
Yes.
that's cool. I like that. I could see that. I've definitely used it. Through our third party, we have a manufacturer, a marketing company that will write blog articles for us. And as I was reading through some of the edits, I was like, "Hey, did you guys write this, or is this AI?" And they fessed up. They said, "Yeah, a lot of this is written by AI, but then we go back over it, we edit, we fact check, and we make sure that it's legit." So this reads really well. I'm like, this
Yeah.
sounds solid. And they're not attorneys, but I was just amazed. I'm like, I have no edits. I have zero edits on this. This is incredible. But and I'll just, with the final question I asked them was, is Google going to gloss over this, right, in terms of indexing and giving me some sort of SEO? And I think that's, the verdict may still be out on that. Whether you're going to be able to be an authority if you're really using information that's already publicly available. So anyway, that was one of my concerns.
No, yeah, that is definitely weird. But I mean, like the best part about AI is that you have to input data for it to output data. So whatever. So I mean, if there, as an AI language model training right now, we're at GPT-4.
Yeah.
Whatever new information that you learn about, you can talk about that and try to put that into the Google and search spaces before it's inputted into the language learning models data sets. So that's one of the key reasons why human involvement is important, because AI is not going to beat whatever human thoughts. Like a new word can come out today and AI doesn't know about it, but we do. So that's a benefit.
Nice. I did just come up with a new word about a month ago.
Yeah.
Inventrepreneur. I don't know if that's a real word. I'm just going to put it out into the ether here.
If it is.
Entrepreneur. Yeah, because and this was the whole, just a quick side note. I'm a big reader and I'm an audiobook guy, listening to Don Miller's Building a Story Brand book. And he talks about really, really, again, kind of focusing on what kind of persona, who are you serving, and just be crystal clear about it. Like you are on your website, what you do, right? 3 or 4 words, very crisp, right? So it's very clear what you do. And that word summarizes exactly who we want, right, at Bold. We want someone who is, yes, you're an inventor, but you're really an entrepreneur at heart, not just sort of a tinkerer with no plan to go to market. We want inventors that are going to go to market, want to sell, want to grow and scale their product or their solution. So quick aside, but I love that. So so if I could summarize what you said before, it's almost like I don't need to be as worried about, being a faker or just copycat, because you're saying that because my inquiry might have been so unique and maybe even novel,
Yeah.
the results will be just as novel. It could be.
Yeah, because they're going to try to interpret what you're saying, but they're going to put syntax, like add some meaning behind it, even though they don't know what it means. And they're just putting the ChatGPT just putting words together.
Yeah.
That's why human creativity is always going to beat computer creativity, because computers can't really be creative. All the data that's been used to create ChatGPT is based upon human authored works or anything made by a human. So essentially, like it all boils down to humans are the center of this technology. So we have to just keep on emphasizing that and use creativity, and not to be scared of, oh, AI is going to take over. It's not.
Right. No.
It'll only take over if we let it.
Very good. Thank you, Afam. I appreciate that. That's good. Okay, we're at 5 minutes. I want to talk about how you're growing your practice. I know you mentioned referrals is important. I know that is really big for me. Tell us what you're looking for. If someone's looking to grow their own practice and they're listening to this now or listening to the podcast, maybe even a month or a year from now, they want to hear from you. What are you doing to grow your relatively new practice when it comes to referrals?
So yes, referrals. Before you even get to referrals, it's networking.
Okay. Yeah.
Reach out to any and everyone. If you think that you're reaching out to so many people, reach out to more people because you're not doing enough.
Okay.
Networking is the main driver behind people to give you referrals, to say, oh, I thought about you. Maybe you can do some work with me rather than a referral type deal. Or I can, just put you in a position, for example, oh, I see that you're doing this type of work. Someone's looking for an in-house position. Let me refer you. There's a lot of opportunities that can be presented through networking.
Okay. What are some places that you found, whether it's virtual or in person? What are you doing right now?
Both.
Okay.
So we're a bar, so networking. I go to you go to a lot of bar association events. You be a part of an organization. I'm currently a part of an organization called DRI, and in that organization, I meet a lot of attorneys.
BRI?
DRI.
DRI.
Yes. And I meet a lot of attorneys. They hold a lot of events and give opportunities for attorneys to only put themselves out there, but to also market whatever firm that they're a part of or that they own. And it's a really great company. Another organization, just state bar associations,
Right.
ABA is important. Anything related, or even some organizations that are related to your field of law. For example, there's like an IP conference. Attend that. You never know who you'd meet. And there's free and paid events too that I recommend law students. You can even do that while you're in law school. So network while you're in law school, network while you're out of law school, just network. That's all this business is just networking, because this professional profession is almost like a fraternal organization. Everybody knows one another, and there's not that many of us, even though there's so many of us.
Yes. It's that mindset of abundance, right? And not being afraid to get out there and be vulnerable and share and talk about things, right? I love that. Outside of attorneys, I know for me, I agree with you. That is where I get the majority of my referrals. Any other type of industries, for me, for example, designers are a pretty good referral source for us. Engineering firms that are working with new designers. Do you have any that are good go-tos that you've been able to network with outside of legal?
More so startups, like not really like lawyers, but like startup companies. Like there are organizations where startups all meet. Like in Houston, there's an organization called ION, where they a lot of tech startups meet there, and they have different events. And so you just go there and you just meet different people and see. You never know what could happen. You never know what could happen.
Love it. All right. Any final parting words? For someone who's maybe just getting started, or it's scared, but they have a passion to start their own firm. What would you say to them? As they're making their decision.
One, do your research. Make sure you know that's what you want to do, and talk to people within your network, mentors, family. See what they're saying, because they know you more than you know. They may know you more than you know yourself, and they can help guide you. And as you've been just thinking about it and you're questioning it, just do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
And if Jeff Bezos didn't say, "Oh, I'm going to start Amazon because I'm trying to figure out a way to sell my books," you would have never had a company that we have today. And you just took that leap. So you just take that leap of faith and be courageous. And my last advice would just be humble. Be humble. I can't preface that enough, because if you're not humble, then your opportunities will be limited.
Love that.
Humbleness will take you much farther.
Awesome. Thank you. If we have anybody listening that would like to reach out to you directly, are you willing to give out your email?
Never. No, I'm just kidding.
We just talk about humble. Just kidding. No. All right.
No. But yeah, you can reach me by email. My email is afam@aiolegal.com. You can also visit me on my website and schedule a free consultation. I'm also on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can also find me on there.
Perfect. I got you. Afam at aiolegal.com. If you want to reach out to him, ask him questions, how he did, what he's done so far. If you heard anything on this program you want to hear more about, feel free to reach out to Afam. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing your wisdom and what you've learned so far. we're gonna have you back on the show on Lawyer Program to kind of get an update as your firm gets into its second and third year. I'm excited to see where you go.
Definitely, I am too. The
Yeah.
future is bright.
It is. All right. Well, have a good rest of your day. And thank you for everyone out there. On behalf of Bold Patents and myself, we're going to wrap up this show. We'll be here next week live Tuesdays at 2:30 p.m. Pacific. We'll catch you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.